All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Hurley Investments Market View commentary for the 7th. After our worst market drop from like 2020, and then before that, it was 2008. What a unbelievable kick you in the butt kind of week. All I'm going to say is it was a week, but we had protection on. In fact, we've got a lot to go over. We're going to call this one the hour and 15-minute Hurley Investments commentary. And yes, I'm doing some of this for my own mental health. So it'll be interesting to see how we go through all this. Want to make sure you guys are going to see what we see. And I just have a huge amount to go over. Self-induced nuclear economic suicide. Yes, if you're ready to have someone rip on Trump today, tonight is your night. Were there some mistakes made? Yes, and I've got some of them figured out. So this will be a rip on Trump for doing some things wrong night, but that doesn't mean that it's going to all be an issue and we're going to go to hell in a handbasket. And I know it's kind of interesting to have me say that right now. But okay, Key, will you do me a favor? Will you try to type anything in so I can see if you can type something in? I might have Keeve. I need Keeve maybe to give me a little information. Yes, Keeve can type stuff in. We're totally good. Okay, here we go. Let's start off with the bad of it. Hey, how's my connection? Am I going in and out on you guys? Do I have an in and out connection right now? Do I need to go make sure that we've got more stuff off in my house? Or I'm coming across okay? All right. I'm good, Rich. Thank you. I'm good. Perfectly clear. Okay. So, Keeve, that actually might be you a little bit, just as a heads up. Thanks, Rich. Thanks, John. Thanks, Maud. Okay, here we go. I'm going to admit I was pissed Saturday night. And at 7:17, I took this screenshot to figure out how bad is it. 1 month down 12.19%. 3 month we're down 14.61. Year to date we're down 13.71. 1 year we're down 1.42%. 5 days for last week we're down 9.08%. That's awful. That stock market is awful. But some of the numbers are not exactly correct. And so let's take a quick peek at a couple things because because I would like to. I'm going to go down our list just a little bit. Apple. Apple, one of the mainstays, plain and simple, was up at 259.81 intraday, closed pretty close to it. Closed today down at 181.46. Taking those numbers and I'm writing them down so that I can put them for everybody. Closed at 181.46, down $78.35. $78.35 divided by the highs at 259.81. Apple is down 30.15%. Boy, I kind of want to insert in here a chart. Let's see if I can do that. Nope, I got to do it. It won't show up on the web that way. So Apple. Apple from 259.81 minus the 181.46 being down 78.35 divided by the highs, can't divide by the lows. We have Apple down 30.15%. Let's take a look at a couple of our other mainstays. Let's go to Boeing. Going to do Bank of America, going to do Biden. Let's make Boeing 188.66. Close today at 138.86. Down $49.80 divided by 188.66. 26.4%. And I'm going to move these across so that we've got a record of it. Obviously, it's not, come on. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just write some of these down. So let's go Boeing. And it's at 26.4%. I'll work all these numbers back over for you, but I'm going to show you where I'm getting them from. Let's do Bank of America. That's a mainstay of us. Bank of America. $47.68. February, $47.68. Mine is close today at $35.58. Down $12. It's unbelievable. 12 divided by 47.68. A 25.38%. Let's see. I want to do Baidu. What other ones do we want to do? Let's do Micron. Let's do NVIDIA. Let's do Google, L. What other ones do you guys want to see? Disney. Okay, that's a good one. Anybody else want to see anything? Meta. Thank you, John. Meta's a big one. Meta. We do have a couple comments we're going to make on those today. All right, let's get a couple more in here. Baidu. Almost sold out of it. Thank goodness we had some protection on. 105. Minus the lows of 79.76 equals 25.43 divided by 105.19, down 24.16%. Way to go, Baidu. Micron, which is funny because semiconductors are not going to be experiencing any of the tariffs. I just had a warning for internet. Give me a quick second here. Hurleys. I want all the internet, all the computers off up there. And I want your phone on well, just off of our internet. I'm having a bad signal. Turn them off. Let's go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let's do the next 5 and then we'll call it because I've got more important information for you. Micron. Love Micron. 111.75 minus closing, at least it was up $3 today, closing at 68.37, $43.38 divided by 111.75, 38.82% down. You would have to put that one in. We'll do a XYZ as well. NVIDIA. NVIDIA, let's go with 153.12. $153.12 minus closing today at 97.64, down $55 divided by 153.12, 36.23. Google is going to be one of our better ones. $206 in February, 206.81. Close at 146.75. Down $60.60 divided by 206.81, 29.04. We'll do Disney, we'll do Meta, and we'll do XYZ. Unless one of you have to have one other one in there, I'll definitely add one other one in there if we need to. I think everyone comes home and jumps on their internet in my neighborhood at exact. All right, I forgot what the one is. I'm pretty sure it's Meta. Meta. Why is that taking so long? All right, we see Meta 740.25 minus today's closing 516.25. $224 divided by 740, 25, 26. Disney and XYZ, and then we're going to be good. Disney, 118.59 minus a closing of 83.30. 35.29, it's down, divided by 118.59, 29.76. And last but not least, XYZ block. Boy, what an opportunity this one was not too long ago. XYZ. This will be hellacious. $99 down to 50.47. 99.26 minus 50.47. 47.79 divided by 99.26. 49.15. 49.15%. Thank you, Mr. Trump, for the Mag 7, which were 80 some odd percent, 83, 84%. Mag 7, which was 80% plus, 80% plus, it's not the plus sign, plus of the growth over the last 2.5 years just gave a lot of it up. And then just taking a quick look, last Thursday down 8.84, last Friday down 5.97. Nothing like being down basically 10% for the week, right? So I know some of you are going, oh my God, what is happening? And I get it. But let me show you some of last Friday, just so we can put a couple things hopefully at ease here. I just want to show you some of last Friday. And Tony, you're exactly correct, because I'm a little pissed off. Nobody called me. Nobody called me last Friday. I did get some phone calls and texts. I did get some phone calls and texts on I don't know, on Thursday. But I want you to take a little look at what happened. And this particular account, $1,025,000 went up to $1,043,000. On the worst day that we've had, since 2020, and then you got to go back to 2008. On the worst day that we had, we were actually up in this account. Boy, I wish, there we go. We've got another one. 81,933 went up to 83,463. Then it stayed that way Saturday, Sunday. On a 6% down day, we're up 2.5%. 619,326 went up to 643,000. On the worst day we've had, well, since 2020, so it's the third worst day in the last 17 years. I just feel like I want to go through a couple of these because it's going to make me feel better. 415,000 went up to 423,000. 596,000 went to 616,810. 163,000 went up to 168,739. 318,122 went up to 329,953. No, it was not everyone. 25 grand roughly in a $500,000 account on a almost 6% down day in the stock market. 318 to 329 on an almost 6% down day in the stock market. 549 to 566 in an almost 6% down day in the stock market. 394 to 396, not a huge day, but in a 6% down day in the market. 622 to 640. 192 to 202. 351 to 364. 231 to 237. 642 to 648. 256 to 263. I've got a ton of these in here. 105 to 108. 137 to 146. 59 to 62. 966,976. I could go through these for forever. But if I can do anything for you, how bad is it? It's awful. And on the third worst day in the market over the last 17 years, we had some that were profitable in a negative 5.97% down day. Extra protection. Volatility. Helped our options. And we have been hit hard. Okay, here's your ripping point on someone. What the hell happened? A lot of this is from episode 2172. Keith, don't hesitate to jump in for any comments that you would like. But here's the mistakes. Tariffs don't necessarily hurt us when placed properly. Someone tell me Trump's biggest mistake right now. I'm going to let you guys rip on Trump. Go for it. For those of you that are there, talk to me about Trump. Where did he screw up? What should he have done? Spencer, good to see you here. Tanya, good to see you too. Hopefully you guys just came in when I was showing, hey, on our worst day in the market, we are actually up net for Hurley Investments. So if I do anything for you, let's just make sure over half of you on a 5.7% down day last Friday, your portfolios were up for the day. All right. What did Trump do wrong with tariffs? Yes, but Lance, I'm going to let you know right now, if you put a bunch of dumbass comments in here, I'm kicking you. Trump threw tariffs out all the way across the 180 countries instead of just targeting the top 20. I love it. Ooh, couple good ones here. Let me make sure these are in. 100% correct. Mistaking trade balance. Sorry, guys, my Wishco2 would act a little bit nicer for me. Mistaking trade balance for tariffs, and I'm going to go over that in a little bit. Tariffs, and I'll go ahead and put that into even though he only did, and that's not true either, but he said it, he's got to shut his mouth. Even though he only did half of reciprocating tariffs. Remember that. He only did half. Poor countries aren't able to and can't buy as much stuff to make the trade balance equal, which is where Taiwan and Indonesia and some of these smaller ones are like, you idiot. You guys are so rich, we couldn't come close to the trade balance if you wanted us to. No way to do it. How many of you heard about taxation on the penguins and the birds? MSN made that one. How many of you heard of taxation on the penguins and the birds? It's the Baltic and it's the McDonald Islands. They're like 5 islands in the Asian Australian area. He tariffed uninhabited islands with birds as the main inhabitant. But that was okay. Anyone want to know why that was okay? Why was it okay to tariff birds in 5 islands roughly that are mostly uninhabited or inhabited by like 2,000 people, maybe 12,000? Anyone give a guess? If you don't know, type in a question mark. Keith, you're not allowed to say anything. Spencer, you're not allowed to say anything. They don't have anything to trade. That is correct. But what made tariffing 5 islands out of his 120 countries okay? It was okay because they have hundreds of banks and companies that file their taxes through the island benefits. Kind of like some people like to go live or file taxes through Puerto Rico. It's only 4% U.S. tax there. If you live there 6 months or you do business through there, blah, 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 blah. The birds may have better billing rates. I love that one. At least all countries got hit. John, some of those islands, a couple are Australia, the main ones, the Bastos, B-A-O-S-T, and the McDonald, I call them the McDonald. I'm pretty sure they're McDonald Islands. But it's about 5 to 7 of those Asian, Middle East. Well, it's South. It's the Asia to Australia area. A couple of them were Australia. One was Japan. So I get it. You can't tell me. "50 countries calling Trump and over 100 companies calling Trump." Don't stroke that man's ego. I will find the link and I'll put it in here for Ben Shapiro's show. It's an interesting commentary. He's also wrong on some things, but would there have been a better way to do this? Yes. Should he shut his mouth? Yes. Should Trump have this planned with his administration so his administration knows what the hell is going on? Yes. But the good news is this. What happened today? Because this was huge. Can anyone tell me what happened today? And Keith, if there's something else I've missed here, would you please type in those other points that we were talking about over the weekend? Just to let you know, Keith and I have been working 60, 70, 80-hour weeks the past 3 weeks. His wife hates me. I'm calling him during a date at night on Saturday night. Keith's like, what the heck are you doing? It's my date night with my wife. I'm like, I want to talk to you. What happened today? No one knows? 2 things. Actually, that did happen today. So now there are 3 things because John just brought something else. 50% more tariffs on China because they retaliated. What else? You guys are thinking so negatively here. What else happened today? That is 100% true, John. But what else happened? There we go. Fake news gave us a 90-day tariff halt window, and the markets exploded for about 15 minutes. When I say exploded, it just goes to show you that those damn circuit breakers don't work worth bleepity bleep bleep, is what I'm going to tell you. The Dow, you can't really see it. That's probably not a good one. And I think I turned it off up here. Let me go one more. Let me go. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Fill in the chart for a month. Someone sold off a ton of crap today. I guess I could do that. I don't know why I'm doing it like this because that doesn't tell you a whole lot more. The low today was 46,611. The high was 39,207. So this really doesn't help us out a whole lot. We had a huge day today where it showed us we are spring loaded. You really can't see it very well, but the high was 39,207. The low was 36,11. closed only down 350 points, basically. I mean, we were looking at like a 2,600 point movement. And we exploded to the high side. As soon as this false news was out there that, hey, there's going to be a 90-day reprieve on tariffs. We hit 5,246 is the high on the S&P. Our low is 48.35, closing at 50.62. Roughly movement from bottom to top, 170, another 425 points on the S&P. We finished up on the NASDAQ. High was 39,207. Nope, this is not the NASDAQ. Let's get the NASDAQ in there, dang it. Hurley, you need to get the right stuff in there. Come on, I've got so many screenshots, it's gonna be, it takes a while to organize all these. The NASDAQ. High 16,292. The low was 14,784. Roughly 1,500 points on the fake news today. Let's get excited. Micron, we still have $104 puts with huge money set aside to buy more shares. To buy more shares at somewhere between $64.30. Kind of neat today, just matching up some numbers. I guess this was Friday, $6,700 down, making up 53. Huge amounts of monies to buy more shares. Google, making up 80% of the downward movement. 500 shares here. Bank of America, some pretty good money sitting aside for a $34.21 to a $34.30. Kind of neat on a down day. Let's see here. Let's do 5. Making up 1,200 on a 14-15 down day. We've got so much money sitting in puts. Apple, $10,000 down day, making up 8,700. Short calls are off. Disney, love Disney's day. 500 down, right? $2,655 on Disney down. We made up 28,882. Options are so mispriced right now. We're making up great money on the way down. We are sitting on a bundle of cash. The other thing that was mentioned today that we didn't mention here, emergency FOMC rate meeting today. Never heard anything out of it. I would not have run things the way Trump did. We have a huge buying opportunity sitting right in front of our faces. Not only that, we have huge cash reserves to purchase more shares. This is how you get those 50% returns in the stock market, by adding 30, 40, 50%. All of these stocks with all of these losses, we add all those in there. That's how you get, just getting back to break even, how you get those 30, 40, 50% returns. Let me also, pretty interesting. The futures, the circuit breakers took off. Here are the circuit breaker points for the S&P. The circuit breakers were the ones that, okay, so the cash, someone just asked, the cash reserves are from us cashing in those puts. We cash in those puts, that's profit into your account, that creates the huge cash reserves, and then we buy more shares for you. So it's the selling of the puts. I'm going to talk about that in a quick second. If you ask me if the circuit breakers are working, they suck. How are we looking to trade? Rolling down puts for huge profits and adding more shares. We took off a lot of the meta because instead of letting it get back up there, because we want to re-add. We want to add 550s, 650s. And then maybe we want to add some 650 800s. We felt it was better to take off the ones that we had. Some were for a profit, some were for break even. One was for a pretty big loss. For the 725 800s, we are adjusting the 800 short calls. We are taking a profit and dollar cost averaging the 725s. Let me go over a couple more things. I'm then going to give it to you guys to ask questions. Interesting comment. Absolutely nothing good coming out of the Trump tariff announcement. Again, we've got 50 countries roughly that are coming to equal trade. That's 50 countries that are stroking Trump's ego. Again, common sense, I hope, prevails, because some countries will not ever have a fair trade balance, nor should we worry about it. For my Canadians, Canada's probably one. But Trump's end goal is working. Could we have a problem that some countries say piss off and start to work more with China? Possibly. But right now, if he's smart so he doesn't push these other countries away from the US, if we get something better, we're going to be in good shape. When you look at some of these, well, it's just an article because I'm showing both sides of the fence. Let's face it. Trump's tariffs risk a global trade war? Definitely not going to be helpful for us. Small cap Russell 2000 becomes the first major stock measure to enter bear market territory. Yep. Traders betting Fed will cut rate at least 4 times this year to bail out the economy. If they did this, that is amazing news, and it unleashes small business here in the United States. I find this hilarious. President Donald Trump says the Fed Chair Powell should cut interest rates and stop playing politics. Damn it, Trump, you're the one playing politics. But yes, damn it, Powell, you should have cut rates. Interesting chart. And this is a day old, and I think we hit it today. Chart suggests S&P 500 sell-off will continue until this level. That level is the 4,850 level. Mentioned on Friday. The lows today were 48.35. We actually pierced the 48.50 level, but we technically bounced off of it. Very interesting article, but we bounced below it earlier today. If Trump intentionally crashes the stock market, yes, it's all part of his brilliant plan. Very interesting article. I know some of you are like, oh, I don't want to give Trump too much credit, but it's all happening right now. So please be willing to read the other side. Why the Magnificent Seven could be harder than the rest of the S&P on Trump's tariffs? It's all right here. It's all right here while he's killing the Mag 7, even though they're still getting excellent returns. Again, you can't beat the announcements from Micron and technically Apple. Nvidia knocked it out of the park. Google wasn't too bad. Amazon kind of sucked. Tesla sucked. Netflix was amazing. Microsoft, I actually can't remember, so I don't know. But what questions do you guys have for me that I can answer for you today? Hopefully what I'm trying to show you is, yes, there could be better ways to do this. Yes, we learned today that any good news sends our market significantly higher, 10%, and we're going to go long. Yes, on the worst day, well, on the third worst day in the market over the last 17 years, we were up. On our third worst day in the stock market in the last 17 years, Hurley Investments was up that day, believe it or not. Questions for us? Yes, so good question. Our plan of attack, especially when we're seeing the stock market up tomorrow, we're probably going to let the market go for the first hour. We're going to roll puts down and take those profits and start to sprinkle in new shares because you guys are going to be very cash rich. We still have the right to sell some stocks at much higher prices than they are right now. There is a grundle of cash sitting in long put profits. So we want to capture those profits, even at the risk of the market going down a little bit more. We're going to add new puts on, but we want to capture those profits and start to get some more shares into your accounts So not only will you have an explosive upside on the market, you have an explosive upside plus 20, 30, 40 more % positions in those areas as we convert those profits from the protection and those puts into new shares of stock. And not only did we not get a phone call from anyone on Friday when the market was down 5.97% and we were up, no one from my side called to tell you guys to put more money into your account so we can dollar cost average. We're going to do all of that for you with these put profits. So good question. Any other questions, or did I just blow out your minds today? Okay, so Kevin, how do you think this can be a 50% up year? Again, it's all based on how far we've had some things come down, which are all right there. If we make those back up and we get to add 20, 30, 40% more to those numbers, that's how we get that 50% up year. For anyone that's unsure of this, please go online and search Kevin Hurley Investments 2020 results. Go search Kevin Hurley Investments 2020 results. Jump into it about 10, 15 minutes, or just watch the whole thing. That seems like, based on today's market reaction with a little good news, that seems like the opportunity that we have that most likely resembles 2020. And I've got all of that already online, redacted brokerage statements on there. It's all for you guys to see how I come to a 50% return this year, even though we're already down for the year. I understand. So I'm not crazy. Go to Kevin Hurley Investments 2020 results, and you'll get a really good idea on how this works. All right, any other questions you guys have for me? Sorry, Tanya, we're working on it. Any other questions you guys have for me that I can answer for you? I know after we hit that hour mark, it's just like, brain fade, you're killing me. But hopefully this is extremely helpful for you guys to understand what we're doing and why. Okay, if there's no other questions, guys, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate that I can show you real accounts that on a 5.97% down day, we were profitable. This is exciting. Thank you. Tony just took it out of the words out of my mouth. This is an exciting opportunity for us to add shares and see some explosive movement on the way back up. Yes, we positioned a lot of our portfolios in the Mag 7. After the first year, it's like, hey, we need to be more in the Mag 7. We get it. Those are the ones that are most brutally hit. 24.16% on the low side to 49.15%. We understand it. No one's account is down by 50%. We're setting up for an exciting rebound, and we have the positions in play that allow us to really have a big back end of the year this year. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Lance. And I'm grateful I didn't have to kick you out. Make sure your comments are in check. All right, guys. Hey, let's call it a night. I will work on getting this published tonight. Thank you, Vicky. We're going to get this published tonight. I'll work with Dave so we can get this going. Not you, Dave, the other Dave. So you can look through the notes tomorrow. But this is exciting. This is where we thrive. This is a huge opportunity. Again, for those of you that are new, just Google search Kevin Hurley Investments 2020 results. It's about a 38-minute video. It's an awesome video. If you want to see what we can do, that is our opportunity right there. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to find that Ben Shapiro link so I can get that in here for you guys to see. And just know, Keith and I are always watching, so you guys don't have to. Boy, it's been a rough 3 weeks. Again, give Keith a little love that I'm bugging him on his date night the other night. I know he's thinking, my hell, Kevin, the market's closed. Stop bugging me Saturday night. Good stuff, though. Guys, appreciate you. Love each and every one of you. Until next week, this is our game plan. We're excited. I'm going to get this published so I can look it all over tonight. Well, probably first thing tomorrow morning. And let's see for a huge opportunity sitting right in front of us. Take care, everyone. Good night.